Alright, and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. I am in the hunt for a cigar venue. Okay, oh, look at that beautiful cathedral behind me. Can't get any better than that. Look, I don't just like to smoke cigars at random places. It adds up in terms of experience. So I'm just looking for, look, we're in Madrid, we're in the center of Madrid. I am looking for a nice spot with chairs and shit and maybe a drink, and I'm going to smoke and take you through the Velvet Rat, and of course taking in the sights and sound of Madrid. In a way, I will see what I find. Here at Restaurante Terraza Puertalsol. This is actually right by the main square. I don't even know what the main square is called, but it's right by the Sol stop. As you can see, a hell of a view. And what's funny is that you enter a mall, like a sports mall that sells shoes, running shoes, Under Armour and shit like that. And around the top of the level, you have this restaurant and bar, and this terrace here is a minimum of $10 per person euro spend to sit here. Now look, I'm not usually a big fan of the whole minimum thing, but when you're looking at a view like this, I get it. They don't want people coming in here eating fucking peanuts. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm going to show you the view. Unfortunately, it is a little bit rainy and windy today, but it is a pretty sheltered place, which is pretty nice. So I'm going to smoke a Velvet Rat. Oh, and they have a very reasonable drinks menu, which is pretty good. So let's see what I'm going to have. All right, so I am here at a rooftop bar in the main square called Restaurante Terraza Puertalsol. Anyway, look, I was looking around for friggin' ages trying to find a place where I can smoke, and I couldn't find one. The issue that I had was the bloody the weather. It's windy, it's rainy. Anyway, I found this place, and it's lucky because they have Pedro Jimenez. Okay, Pedro Jimenez. Oh, here it is, Pedro Jimenez. Look at that. I love Pedro Jimenez. It is like thick syrup. Look at that. It's like cough syrup, but more delicious. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. God damn. And so today what I'm reviewing is I'm going to take you through the Velvet Rat. Okay. So at first they said if there's a lot of people here, they might not allow cigars. Understandably, if there's a lot of people, cigars can be a real problem. There's no one else here but me, a couple of people, and they're smoking as well. Anyway, I love the Velvet Rat and the Liga Privida lineup. The Undercrown, the U50 whatever, they're all freaking fantastic. I love them because they are ballsy, they are bold, they are oily as hell. Anyway, let's get toasting. I've got a shitty ass lighter, but hey, soft flame. And funny enough, it's actually holding up in this terrible weather. let that settle, because that lighter is fucking shit. So let that settle. Terrible. I don't have my regular kit with me because I'm traveling and I don't want to have to carry all that stuff and have these issues. So now, Velvet Rat is essentially a Lancero, and a Lancero is designed to be potent and dramatically strong in flavor, strong in hit. Okay, as you can imagine, the concentration of flavors all enters that cigar in that thin space. So when people say, oh, I just want a small cigar, small cigars are actually worse in terms of strength and ballsiness than thick cigars, because thick cigars are designed to be long smoking and mellower, generally speaking, as opposed to a thin, small, tiny stick where it's designed so you can go and have a quick break, have a smoke, get that massive flavor and nicotine hit, and then go back inside within 5-10 minutes. So a Lancero is kind of like that, but designed to be much ballsier. So the Velvet Rat is going to be designed to be ballsy. So I'm going to take you through the initial flavor profile that I'm getting. I'm going to have some sips and then we'll revisit, okay? Spicy, peppery. Oh wow. Black pepper, chili pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg, a bit of Christmas cake, roasted nuts, amaretto, a very, very strong espresso. That's what I'm getting out of that. Anyway, look, I'm going to take you through when I've let it cool down a little bit more or heat up a little bit more. And I love Pedro Jimenez. Look how viscous that is. Absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. Anyway, I'll see you soon. I just made it up to this bar and the sky just opened up. So I am dreading getting back out there, but nevertheless, for now, I am in the comfort of this heater, this rooftop bar, and a cigar. This cigar is ballsy. Make sure you eat beforehand before you smoke the cigar. The strength is freaking ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, this is a ballsy ass cigar. You're gonna take it slow. I'm gonna take it slow. But the notes that I'm getting is Italian roast espresso, double shot, roasted nuts, but mainly roasted peanuts when peanuts have been roasted just a little bit too far and it's just in the cusp of burning and roasting. The smoke output is phenomenal. Look at that. It's blue, it's thick, it's oily, it is peppery, it is spicy. It is not something that I would smoke very frequently because it's so fucking spicy. This is like if an Indian wanted to make a cigar, they'd be like, hey, put more spice in there. Here you go. That's what you get. Okay? And I'm matching it with a Pedro Jimenez, okay? Because I am in Spain and nothing like a good Pedro Jimenez. The sweetness and the viscosity of the Pedro Jimenez is a perfect fit for this Velvet Rat. Now, my Pedro Jimenez is basically a sherry, but what they do is they let the grapes get this special mold and dry up on the vine, and then they make it into a fortified wine, age it in a barrel, and it becomes super, super viscous, super, super thick. Now, as you know, when you're buying whiskey, one of the biggest, most sought after whiskies out there are Scotch whiskies with PX cask finish or PX cask age, like Glendronach single barrels, Glenallichys, and plenty more. They have PX cask in them. This is the precursor of that. So what I'm drinking is the precursor of a great PX cask whiskey, and I'm just kind of paying homage to and doing my part and trying to give back to the whiskey community. And that sweetness matches the spice and the craziness of the cigar. Oh, fuck. That is ballsy as hell. I haven't had one of these turkey slappers. It's like I'm being turkey slapped in the face by a black porn star. It's like I take my blindfold off and there you go. Whoop, there it is. You know what I mean? Oh, delicious, complex, uber thick. Now, if someone out there knows, please, let's have a chat about it. But apparently the wrapper of this, or the inside somewhere, is rubbed with a special fruit paste to make the smoke extra thick. The fruit paste doesn't impart so much of a flavor, but more of a texture to the smoke. I don't know if that's true or not. If that's the case, I guess for purists out there, it might not be something that they want, but bottom line, well, I mean, hey, if it tastes good, it tastes good, right? I guess, Cubans are for purists, and New World cigars are maybe for those who are seeking for something a little bit different. Anyway, I will see you when I progress more in the cigar. Man, the heavens have opened up. It is not easing. It is not easing. So the Velvet Rat, I am almost halfway there. When I say halfway, I mean halfway before I chuck it out. So my final take on the Velvet Rat. The espresso is becoming thicker. The espresso is becoming more intense. Funny enough, the spice and the pepper has calmed down a little bit. So I don't know why that is, but the strength of this is ballsy as hell. I mean, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger ballsy, ballsy. This is not for the faint-hearted. Would I recommend this cigar? You know what? I actually wouldn't. Is it delicious? Yeah, it's pretty delicious. Is it the best I've had? By far, no. The Liga Pravida line is legendary. It is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I can't fault it in terms of quality. I can't fault it in terms of is it delicious or not. The issue with this cigar is that it's just a little bit imbalanced. It's just in your face. It smacks you in the face. There is no subtlety. There's not much pleasure in smoking it, really. I can't describe it. Okay, it's a bit unfair to say there's no pleasure in smoking it because it is a very pleasurable smoke, but I'd rather have a shorter but thicker cigar, a chode. The Flying Pig is fantastic. The Flying Pig is fantastic. The Robustos, even the bloody 58 and, the Goditos, the thick ass, the thick, the thick black sticks that they provide. I would rather go for those than this. This is so imbalanced, it's so sharp, it's so nasty. But hey, the Velvet Rat, that's probably why they call it the Velvet Rat. Like a rat, it is wily, it is sneaky, it is formidable. Yeah, this is not an easy cigar to smoke. I've been on this for a while now, and I've been giving it about 1.5 minutes per puff while I'm off camera. But yeah, look, roasted nuts, amaretto, burnt peanuts, slight earthiness, oiliness, leather, wet, freshly tanned leather. But it is still a very spicy cigar. In terms of my pairing with the Pedro Jimenez, that is a perfect pairing because it does balance out the ridiculousness. If I had this with a whiskey, it could actually be a little bit much. One, it would be pointless because the whiskey I won't really taste. So you'd have to go peated or heavily sherried whiskey. Any good wine, no point. But as a finish, there's a minimum €10 spend here. As a finish, I'm going to have a cafe con leche, and I'm going to pair that with this right in the end, okay? But my take on this, look, I don't think it's really that worthwhile. There's so many more Liga Providas out there. I would still go back to the Undercrown 10, the Undercrown Sun-Grown. They are by far the most perfect of the Liga Provida lines. And then you have the other, I think the T52 and all of that. Then you've got all of that other line as well. But to me, not my best pick. But the smoke output is phenomenal. Absolutely huge. And sorry about the lighting here. Not the best lighting. I look a bit red in the face from the red umbrella. The sun's not out. But, sometimes you can't... sometimes you can't expect to have all the conditions perfect. It's warm with the heater. I'm sheltered. I'm not getting rained on. And it's actually a hell of a day. Until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. Cheers.